What up, peeps? Welcome to day 9 of 31 days of horror movies. We have left the woods and we have went straight to hell. I watched Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. Villain of this movie is Pinhead and his group of Cenobites from hell, and it's about this puzzle box that summons the demons to some, angels to others. This movie is about the Cotton family: Kirsty Cotton, Larry, Julia, Frank. Well, Frank is a sadistic weirdo who has got a hold of the puzzle box and opened it and summoned Pinhead and the Cenobites, who rip him to shreds and send him to hell. Then you got Larry and Julia, who move into their old home, and as they're moving stuff in, he accidentally rips a hole in his hand and bleeds on the floor, and somehow that makes Frank able to escape hell. Comes back. This movie has wicked cool effects and shit, and comes back as this dilapidated skeleton and flesh and shit. And Julia sees him and he says, "Help me," and he needs more bodies. So she goes to bars and shit and starts bringing bodies in for him to suck the life out of, and eventually gets brought back full on. But the Cenobites eventually find out and come back for him. Well, Frank ends up killing his brother for his body, and Kirsty finds out, that's how it's pronounced, Kirsty Cotton, who is like the Nancy of this series, Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. And she gets a hold of the puzzle box and accidentally encounters the Cenobites, who start to want to drag her to hell, but she says she knows where Frank is and she'll lure him back. And so she does, and they rip him to shreds, take him back to hell. And then you go to part 2, which is a continuation, much like Halloween 1 and 2 is one big long movie, so is this, which is cool. This one is confusing as hell. Not so much, but she goes back to hell. She's in a mental hospital, and there's this girl that's good at puzzles and stuff, and she goes back to hell, which looks like Jim Henson's Labyrinth, but from hell, running all through everything. She can bring her daddy back, which once you die and go to hell, that's where you're at to stay. And more cool effects and Cenobites and stupid Julia's back of Frank and all kinds of horror characters and Cenobites and shit. Cool ass series. I'm not so much into part 2. My favorites are 1 and 3. 3 is called Hellraiser Hell on Earth, and has a cool soundtrack, sung by Ozzy. And that's what I watched. Happy Hallowicked. Peace.